everyone, today I have 3 Instant Pot soup recipes for you. They are vegetarian, they are nutritious because they're incorporating all fresh ingredients, they're easy and affordable. So the first soup recipe I am giving you today is my cream of potato soup. It is delicious and super simple, and we're going to use it right here in the Instant Pot. Now you can modify this recipe and use a crock pot or a stove pot. That's completely up to you, but today we're going to use the Instant Pot. So on your Instant Pot there's a saute button or some type of button that you can saute some vegetables or meat and things like that. I have an older Instant Pot slash pressure cooker. This is pressure cooker XL, and I have to hit the rice and risotto button to get the saute feature on mine. So just look in your user's manual and it'll let you know that. And in this we are going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So once your Instant Pot is warming up that olive oil, you're going to add about 2 to 3 celery stalks. I did 3 to 4. I love a lot of veggies in my soup, so, and I had a whole lot of celery that I needed to use up. You want about 3 carrots cut up and diced. I have about 4 here. All the details of this recipe will be over at my blog, which is www.mywholelotoflove.com, and I'll also have it below in the notes. You want a yellow onion diced. I used a full onion. Like I said, I love a lot of vegetables in my soup. Onions and garlic are very helpful, along with any rooted vegetables, to help with your immune system. So it gives you like extra boost during this time of year. I'm gonna add 3 cloves of garlic, and this is a personal preference. If you want a little more or a little less, it's completely up to you. So I'm going to saute this for about a couple of minutes in here right now in my pressure cooker or your Instant Pot, and then we are going to season it. Alright, so this has been cooking for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes. I diced up a bunch of red skin potatoes. This is about 5 to 6 of them. Some of them were small. And I'm going to add that and let this cook for about another minute before I add the broth and put the lid on and the seasoning and all that jazz. So it smells amazing. The onions are nice and soft. And I did let this cook on the saute feature for about 5 minutes. I'm going to give this a good stir and we'll be ready to add that broth. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning. I'm trying to make sure you guys get a good look of this. But I'm adding some salt and pepper, about a teaspoon each, and some paprika right into the pot and giving it a good stir. And then I'm going to add some onion powder and garlic powder. All of these spices are like my staples when cooking. For whatever reason, I just like using that mixture. And I'm going to let this kind of absorb some of the spices and whatnot. Alright, now I'm getting ready to add my broth. I'm using this vegetable broth that I got from Costco. I need 4 cups of broth. Normally I make a homemade broth, but I'm low, so I picked up some from Costco, and I'm going to add that right to the Instant Pot. And this is about, it's about a good 10 cups of soup right now. And then the heartiness of the potatoes and the onions and the celery. Whoops, sorry, Alexa, timer off. So we got almost 10 cups here. And I do have another broth that sometimes I will add if I feel like the soup needs a little bit more. But we're going to add some whole milk, a cup of whole milk right to it. I like to keep this at room temperature just so it doesn't curdle from the heat. And give that a good stir. And then I have a bunch of thyme that I'm going to add right into the pot right here. So handful of thyme, and I love to use fresh herbs whenever I'm cooking. And like I said, I love my Instant Pot because I'm only using one pot, so less dishes other than my preparation dishes. And I am going to add the lid. And cancel out everything. So use your owner's manual to figure out how you're going to do that. So I just hit the cancel button. Make sure you put the cap on your pressure cooker so the steam is trapped in there. It does take, my pot takes about a good 5 to 10 minutes to get to full pressure. And then I am going to find my soup stew button, which is 10 minutes, and let it do its thing, and we'll check back in about 10 minutes. Okay, the soup is done, and I'm going to release the pressure, but I like to use a dishcloth over the pressure just because I don't want the steam to get all on my ceiling. So that's what I'm going to do now. Plus it gives it that extra protection. Okay, so now we're going to take the lid off. Ooh, it's oozing and bubbling. Give it a good stir. Oh yeah, this looks amazing. And then I pull out the thyme branches basically as I'm stirring it, and the bay leaf. Oh yeah, this looks amazing. And you can top this with sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon. I'm skipping the bacon because like I said, this is vegetarian. It's hearty. It's delicious and warm for those cold winter months, and easy and affordable. And if you feel like you need a little bit of broth, go ahead and add more at this point, or if you want it more creamy, go ahead and add more milk. I would just make sure the milk is at room temperature just because you don't want it to curdle because the soup is blazing hot. It's good. Alright, so we are going to ladle some of this goodness inside my soup cup and top it with cheddar cheese. Sorry about the distraction in the background, but girl's got to do laundry when she's got to get it in there. So I'm going to put some fresh cheddar cheese and parsley right inside. And like I said, you can do bacon if that's your preference. I personally don't eat bacon, but bacon is fine. And top it with some sour cream. And you're ready to enjoy my first Instant Pot soup recipe. Enjoy! Second soup we're going to do is our broccoli cheddar soup in the Instant Pot. And the first thing you want to do is get your Instant Pot on the saute feature, and you'll have to check with your own owner's manual how to do it. I have one of the original Instant Pots, so basically what I do is I turn it on, and then I hit my rice button 2 times, and then it gets it warm. Once I do that, I'm going to put 1/4 of butter right into the Instant Pot along with my let's see, I have 1 whole onion, which works to be about a cup. You can, you know, vary with the amount of onion you want. In your broccoli cheddar soup, you're going to need a couple cloves of garlic, and we're going to go ahead and get that sauteed in the Instant Pot. And that is what I'm doing here with the garlic and onion. And then you want about 3 or 4 carrots, and you can do this like you're liking if you want less or more. And that works out to be a good solid cup of carrots. And I like to add celery as well too, so I'm adding about a cup of that, and that works out to be 3 or 4 stalks depending on the size of the stalks that you're going to use. So we're going to go ahead and let this saute. We'll flip this camera around so you can see what happens next. So as you can see, we're sauteing all of the vegetables except for the broccoli, and I did dice this as fine as I can, and I'm going to show you that right there. And I'm going to let these get a little soft, but not super soft, because when it cooks in the pressure cooker, they'll get nice and soft. Once the butter's melted and all that jazz, I do like to add a little salt and pepper throughout my soups, just a little bit, and we'll add a good amount before we close the lid and put the pressure valve on. That's just what I like to do. Okay, so now we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of flour, and this kind of helps the soup to thicken. I'm going to add that right into the pressure cooker, still on that saute feature, and let everything get nice and coated. And then once everything's nice and coated, you're going to go ahead and add a cup of half and half and a cup of milk. Now, if you don't have either one on hand, you can use 2 cups of milk or 2 cups of half and half. I did combine both of the dairies together, and if you have a dairy sensitivity, intolerance, or allergy, you can always use a milk substitute. And I'm adding that in there. And then I'm going to add my vegetable broth. I'm going to add 4 cups of that. And right now I am going to use a broth that's already made, so store-bought broth. I usually like to make my own vegetable broth in the pressure cooker or even in a slow cooker. If you want details on that, just message me and I will either do a video or lead you to the video or blog post with that. So I'm giving that all a good stir, and I'm going to season again with the salt and pepper. Okay, so now it's time to add your broccoli, and I do buy, you can see that, this is the frozen broccoli from Costco. You can use fresh broccoli, but you need about 4 cups. It's completely up to you. I just like to have broccoli on hand in the freezer, so I just buy the big bag at Costco because I can roast it, steam it, do what I want with the broccoli, and then also have it for broccoli cheddar soup. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it, but you do want 4 cups. I'm going to give this a good stir. Season with a little bit more salt and pepper. Just a little dash here, a little dash there. And then I'm going to add my final spices, which are a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And if you don't like any of these spices, you can obviously omit, or you can, take it down a little bit to 1/8. And then I'm going to add my salt and pepper, which is, well, my pepper is 1/4 teaspoon. My salt is a 1/2 teaspoon. And then I add a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder, and that's a 1/2 teaspoon. And I'll have all the details at the bottom of this video. Now, one of my final touches I like to do before I put the lid on is add about 3 to 5 little dashes of a red hot. And I'm going to give that a good stir, and then I'm going to get ready to put this lid on so everything can cook. The cheese will be the final thing. I don't add the cheese till the end. So I'm going to go ahead and add the lid, put the lid on. Make sure your pressure valve is closed, and then I'm going to cancel. And then my pressure cooker has a stew button, and I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll move it over a little bit. And I just hit that, which cooks it in 10 minutes, and we will come back in 10. All right, so the pressure cooker just stopped. We're gonna go ahead and release the pressure. If for some reason you leave or you are gone, sometimes the pressure will kind of come down on its own, so you don't have to release a lot of steam. And that's my situation. This actually went past the 10 minutes, but I just let it stay and keep warm. So my pressure is pretty much released naturally on its own. Then I'm gonna go ahead and open the lid and give it a good stir. And then this is the time when I'm going to add the cheese into the soup. And as you can see, it already looks amazing. And the cheeses I'm going to add is a Kobe cheese. I really love a Kobe cheese. And I add about a cup of that to the soup. And I do a mild cheddar cheese into the soup. And you can save some on the side for topping the soup. And then it's going to kind of melt in there and thicken it up even more. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to my bowls for dinner, and we are going to have just crackers with this tonight. And like I said, you can have it with a salad, a sandwich, bread, whatever you like, and it's perfect for a cold day. And then you can top it with a little bit more cheese. Final soup is a vegetarian chili, and you can make this non-vegetarian by just adding your favorite beef or sausage. I am putting that saute feature again on the Instant Pot, adding my olive oil, and you want about a teaspoon of that. You're going to go ahead and add an onion and make sure that's chopped. And then you're going to add your jalapenos and your green peppers. And like I said, I'll have full details down below. So if you want to know the exact measurements, and you can also check it out on my blog as well. I'm going to add garlic. I love to add garlic. And I just have 2 that are very diced very finely. I'm going to give this a good mix, and as you can see, it's sauteing in the Instant Pot. I love my Instant Pot because you can throw everything in one pot. Now you want to go ahead and add a diced zucchini and a diced yellowed squash. I just love incorporating as much vegetables in chili. And like I said, I just add meat into this for my boys, and you do not have to do that. It's just if you are a meat eater, and it's very flavorful and very tasty. Give it all a good stir and let it saute. And this is sauteing a total of about 5 minutes or so, give or take. Once the vegetables are kind of slightly soft, then you know they're ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my spices, and my spices consist of 1/4 ground red pepper. I have 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Here I'm adding my corn, and you can use canned, fresh, or frozen. I'm using frozen because it is not corn season here in Michigan. Giving it all a good stir so all of the flavors can make sure they're very distributed evenly throughout the pot before I place that lid on my pot. Other than dicing, this takes very little time. Now at this point, you're going to add your stewed tomatoes, and you want to make sure, if you don't like tomatoes, make sure these are really stewed and crushed very well. And your organic pinto beans, and I like to use the juice with the pinto beans, and this is from a can. You can also buy them dry and whatnot. Just make sure you save some of the juice because it makes them very moist. And for my black beans, when I add the black beans, you're going to see that I pre-made these in my Instant Pot. And if you're interested in that recipe, let me know in the comments below, and I will do a video or a blog post of it. But I do freeze my beans when I make a huge quantity. Give this all a good stir again. And I am going to give it a little bit more extra kick, not just with the jalapenos, but I'm going to add these green chilies. And it's just a small can. I purchased this can at Trader Joe's. You can find it pretty much anywhere in the Mexican aisle. But I'm going to go ahead and add that because I do like things with a little spice. If you don't, you can omit that, or the jalapenos. And last but not least is your tomato paste. And this kind of thickens it so it's not too runny. But if you like your soup to be a little bit more runnier, you can disregard this. Again, give it all a really good stir. And as you can see throughout the whole process of this whole video is that I love to stir in between. And I'm adding a little bit of more salt and pepper. And I do this by taste. You can taste it or have a family member taste it and add to your liking. Already this looks amazing. Now we're going to cancel that saute feature, add the lid, close the valve. Make sure you always close your valve to close, which is what I'm doing here. And I am going to hit my soup button on my Instant Pot. My Instant Pot is a little bit older, so this cooks about 10 minutes. So you just need to refer back to your user's manual. Sorry about that. And that's it. Go ahead and plate it up. Put it in a bowl with some fresh cheese. I'm using a Mexican cheese here. You can use a pepper jack cheese, any type of cheese, a cheddar cheese, whatever you like. I like to add fresh cilantro. You can put a slice of avocado, add sour cream. It's completely up to you. Enjoy. Instant Pot soup recipes. Like I said, they're very easy and simple. If you make these soups, let me know by using the hashtag #MyWholeLotOfLove. Post on Instagram. I'm over there a lot and over on Facebook. And let me know if you try them. Other than that, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos from me. Hit that bell button so you are notified whenever I do upload a new video. And make sure you check out the full details of all the recipes that I shared with you today over on my blog, which is www.myWholeLotOfLove.com. I hope you're having a great day, staying warm, and enjoy the rest of your day. Till next time, see you guys soon.